The Rolex box was empty. On the black velvet lining, there was nothing but a faint, circular impression, a ghost of the heavy metal that had rested there for decades. $20 million. It was a legacy piece from my grandfather, one of only 3 in existence globally. I pulled up the security footage from the living room on my phone. I scrolled through the timeline until I hit yesterday afternoon, 2:17 p.m. Madeline opened the safe. She didn't hesitate. She lifted the watch box, slid the timepiece into a signature Tiffany blue gift bag, and tucked it under her arm. Just before she stepped out the door, she glanced down at her phone. The notification on her screen caught the light. A name I knew all too well, though I'd spent months trying to convince myself I was being paranoid. Dominic. I took a screenshot of the frame and moved it into my encrypted folder. Then, I pulled up my contacts and tapped the name labeled James Legal. The phone rang twice before he picked up. Adrian, it's late. James, I need a consultation. If one spouse disposes of the other's separate premarital property without consent, how does the law categorize that? There was a heavy silence on the other end for 3 seconds. What's the valuation? 20 million. Another silence. Longer this time. Don't tip your hand yet, James said, his voice dropping into a professional steady register. Find every shred of documentation you have. Titles, purchase receipts, certificates of authenticity. Secure the footage. Don't delete a thing before you see me. It's all in my home safe. Good. I could hear him scribbling something. Adrian, listen to me. If she gifted it to a third party, we can sue for its return. But if she claims it was a loan, things get murky. We need to be surgical about this. I understand. I hung up and sat on the bay window seat in our bedroom, pulling my knees to my chest. I stayed like that for a long time, watching the rain streak against the glass, until the sound of the front door lock clicked. Madeline was home. It was 11:40 p.m. She drifted into the room wearing a blush pink Chanel dress, her heels clicking softly, damp from the street. I smelled the wine first, and then, beneath it, a trace of something cold and sharp. An expensive cologne. It wasn't mine. Still up? She asked, tossing her keys onto the marble vanity. I looked at her, my voice flat. Where's the watch from the safe? She stiffened. It was a micro-expression, gone in less than a second, but I caught the flicker of guilt before it was smoothed over by her usual practiced composure. Oh, that, she said, walking to the mini-fridge and pulling out a bottle of Fiji water. I lent it to Dominic for a few days. Lent? He has an investors gala the night after tomorrow. He needed to look the part, she said, twisting the cap and taking a long swallow. Dominic's latest real estate venture is worth $300 million. He specifically asked to partner with us. Adrian, you know what this deal would mean for the firm. It's a career maker. I felt my fingernails bite into the palms of my hands. That watch belonged to my grandfather. It's a family heirloom. I know that. I'm not giving it away. She set the water down and finally met my eyes, her expression shifting into one of mild annoyance. 2 days, maybe 3. He'll give it back the moment the gala is over. Why are you being so tense? She stepped toward me, reaching out to brush a stray hair from my forehead. I took a step back. Her hand froze in midair. Adrian, don't be small-minded about this. Think of the big picture. Small-minded. The words felt like a needle being driven into a nerve. Did you even think to ask me before you touched my things? I called you yesterday afternoon. You didn't pick up. I pulled out my phone and scrolled through the logs. Between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. yesterday, there were no missed calls. Not a single one. Madeline, I said, turning the screen toward her. You never called. She glanced at the screen, her face remaining a mask of cool indifference. Then I must have misremembered. It's just 2 days, Adrian. Stop making a scene out of nothing. Making a scene. I didn't say another word. She showered, climbed into bed, and was asleep within 3 minutes. Her breathing was rhythmic and steady, as if her conscience was as clear as the Manhattan skyline after a storm. I lay beside her, staring at the ceiling. At 1:30 a.m., her phone buzzed on the nightstand. The screen illuminated the dark room. I turned my head. Dominic got the